Okay, so this is where we got today with our additional garden prep that we've been trying to do. Look at that, much better than where we started earlier today. The guys weed whacked all the way around for me in the spots where things weren't growing. This end of the rhubarb and blueberry section of the garden does need a little bit more of attention, but we had to stop for the day. We have other things to do and it's really hot out, but we made great progress right here. This was a last minute secondary strawberry bed that I put in last year. So we made great progress weeding here. The ground is really dry. I had just thrown straw down real quick. I had run out of the really good landscape cloth here, but we weeded out there as well as we can for now. And interesting, so this we're still trying to decide and figure out if it's just rice in the early stages or if it is actually wheat growing. I certainly did not plant wheat at any time. And I don't know if it came with the horse manure that we had brought in, but weirdly it's the only place it's growing. Now 2 seasons ago, I did try to grow some rice in pots and all it did was grow kind of the long grassy part and it never got to the seeds. So we don't know if these are going to get longer, droop over, and turn golden. If they do, then that's probably the rice that I planted a couple of years ago, and maybe it just needed to be planted directly in the ground. Because what I remembered was I tried to grow the rice in a couple of really large pots down here, and like I said, nothing seemed to happen. So I think I threw the dirt, the soil that was in those pots, into this section of the bed, which would be why it's kind of sporadic and all over the place. And I'm like, hey, we will see what happens, but we might end up with half a bag of rice. Because it's not like a whole rice field by any means, but that's kind of neat. So we left that because it's definitely not a weed. It's some kind of crop. So stay tuned on that. And then this section of strawberries that we had started last year, and then, wow, one parsnip from last year that didn't grow but decided to grow this year apparently. That's what that is. We kept some of the creeping Charlie along the back because it's beautiful and it helps keep down other weeds. And I don't know if you can tell, but there are tons of pollinators in there even now. All different types of bees and butterflies. It's wonderful. So we're going to leave that. It's not hurting anything. And I'll weed a little bit more in those strawberries along the back, but we got everything out of these front ones. These empty holes, I'm going to put the runners in there and grow more. We'll do a more crop-specific video later on how to kind of propagate additional strawberry plants. And then over here, this section and then that grassy section over there are where I do potatoes. So I will probably put those in the ground tomorrow. But then we've got our tomato cages set up, these 4 little wiry things here. And yes, I know there are better tomato cages you can get, but oddly, they're one of the things that sell out at the garden stores immediately. And I've tried different plastic versions of tomato cages from Amazon. They're all terrible, so I don't recommend any of those. These are very old-fashioned, and yeah, they could be obnoxious, but they grew excellent tomatoes for me last year. And they were already here when we moved in, so that was just one of those things that's a free resource. You've already got it. You don't have to buy it. And they did really well last year. No complaints. The plants did not fall over or anything like that because, you know, they seem kind of flimsy, but they're not. And then these grew peas for me really well last year, but they're for any kind of trellising plants. You could grow different types of beans on these, but we've got those kind of poking down into the ground where we want them. And we've got some of my holes from last year all over. And then the other half of the garden needs to have new holes burned into it. So that'll be a project that I continue working on. And then the tarp, of course, looks kind of dirty and not great right now, but I can come down here with both a broom and my leaf blower and get this all cleared. Oh, the wind is helping already. But I can get this all cleared off when I know that we're completely done weeding everything here. But significant progress today with huge help from our family, and a big thanks to them for helping make that happen. All right. Hi, Daniel.
Hi.
What are we doing today?
So today we're planting tomato seeds and basically carrots and peas and some all of that stuff again.
A bunch of other stuff. And Daniel's going to help me a little bit with that. Yeah. So you'll see us both on video doing that.
You probably never know when I might show up or maybe you guys won't know that I might actually just be here for the whole video. So I'm going to do that.
That's right. You might be. So what are you in right now? What is this?
I'm technically standing.
Cage.
I'm technically standing over where tomatoes are supposed to grow.
Yes.
A while ago, before Mom even became a YouTuber, when we had these up, we noticed little grubs like trying to eat those, and little eggs from the grubs on the tomato leaves.
They're called tomato hornworms.
Tomato hornworms, and we were like, "What?"
All right, well, we'll stop the intro right here, and then we will turn the camera on so you can see us planting some things. All right, so we're gonna start with some peas on this end of the garden.
I started it earlier, but...
And yes, I've already planted a few things today, but this end of the garden didn't get as much of the compost, so I went to our compost pile and I've got some nice soil that I'm gonna put over top of everything as we plant it. See these little holes right here?
Yep.
It's just one per hole, and we don't need this because it's just such a small seed, so all you do is take your finger like that, make a hole about that deep, drop it in, and cover it up. Do the next one. Now, yep, and you can do it that quick. It's just, but remember where you left off, right? That way you don't either skip a hole or you don't accidentally put 2 peas in the same hole. There you go, down in there. Cover it with your finger. Good job. And skip that part, put one there.
Well, that one was so easy.
Yeah, just finish the holes there. And when you're done with that, I got another job. You can go back through all of these ones that we're planting. You have enough in your hand to do that row? Yeah. Okay, good. All right, so now take some dirt and we'll put it over the top of all the things we planted because some of this needs a little bit better soil.
Like all of it?
Just like a little handful. And you can cover the whole hole if that makes sense. Like that much. You can put that much and then kind of tuck it in a little bit. The way peas grow, they trellis up. So they'll vine up and they'll cover this thing over and it'll be really pretty looking too. But it needs something to grab onto while it climbs. You can put more in there than that, babe. Is that for me? Or you can go over there. Do you want to go past me? It's so nice to have our own compost now. Got that compost pile going and it's doing great. You want to plant the other side of peas here?
Nothing.
Do what, baby?
I was just showing everyone this. Oh dear.
Well, I usually have it pointed.
I was showing everyone the thing where the camera holds on.
Oh, okay. We'll come back through and put the compost over. Whoop. Here, put them in Mom's hand. You don't have to put them back in the container. Awesome. All right. And if you have too many, then just come down to my row. And they're going to go in those holes too, right there. And actually, when you're done, you can put your compost over it. So I hear the mosquitoes. So we definitely don't like spiders in the house, but did you know they're actually pretty good for the garden? Yeah, they eat some of the bugs that like to eat our plants. So yeah, they're kind of creepy. I mean, out here, they'll eat the bugs that might want to eat our plants so that our food plants get saved.
How did I put one in there?
All of these have, does this have a peas in it?
Yeah.
It does? Okay. I'm just gonna put these back. So I put some compost dirt in all of the holes for the tomatoes, but Daniel's doing all the planting. Good job, bud.
Mm-hmm. And I got another.
Got another one? So this is how we make the holes in the landscape cloth in order to plant things in it. I'll do a more close-up demonstration in a minute to show you exactly how it works. But obviously it is going to produce a flame. It's fire. It's very hot. So you need to be very careful when you're doing this. And another handy thing is to have a spray bottle with you because it's basically going to catch your tarp on fire. And then the fire is just going to keep going if you don't put that out quickly. So it's going to burn a hole very quickly right where I point it. Then I can spray it. to stop the burn going any further and kind of also help seal the edges on the inside of the hole. And then we'll move on. You can't see it, but there's a little flame right there and it's very hot, just like any fire would be. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to use a small handheld blowtorch to make holes in your landscape cloth and do that appropriately. So last year I used one of those Bic lighters that you might use to light your fireplace inside or when you're burning your papers outside with the burning barrel. That was painstakingly slow and terrible. It worked, sort of. The biggest thing is that it's just really slow. And it was a little bit difficult to get the edges to properly seal. This particular landscape cloth is meant to have holes burnt into it. You can cut it as well, but if you just cut it, you're going to end up with this. Not only does it look terrible, but obviously it's going to make the cloth not last as long and it frays really bad and it just kind of gets in the way when you're trying to work with your planting hole. So I'm going to do two things here. I'm going to clean the edges of this existing one up, and then we'll burn another one, a fresh one, so you can kind of see what that looks like. A tip, of course, you see me wiping debris away. I have it's very hot and dry. It's been very hot and dry the last few days. I think it's been at least 10 days since we've had rain, and it's getting warm. Take this particular one I got at Ace Hardware. Love that store. Propane fuel cylinder. I don't really know much else about this type of equipment. So there you go. But you're going to turn this on. That's what kind of gets the gas released and ready to go. This thing, you push it down once and it stays on. So it's not like a push and then you release and then the flame goes away. You push it down, it'll kind of click and it stays on. And then to turn it off, you turn this black switch back off. Obviously, use fire safety tips that you would normally use. Basically, whatever you point it at, it's going to burn. One thing I've been trying to practice and get better at already is as I'm tipping it down, sometimes I'm making a hole off that way because it's shooting out that way. So you've got to be quick but controlled, quick but careful, if that makes sense. You kind of have to point it right where you want it, do it, and move on. But before you do that, have a handy spray bottle with you. As soon as you burn it and it looks exactly the way you want it, you're going to spray. I'm going to do both of these kind of quick, and then maybe we'll do a third one after we do these first two. And I'll get it real close to the ground. But I'll have the propane container in one hand, spray bottle in the other, so we can just go. It does make a little bit of a noise, like air escaping. It's the propane, of course. Turn this on, and I'm sure you cannot see that in the video. I almost can't see it in person. And then we're going to do this. And then I turn it off quickly, just obviously to conserve it and because you don't want an open flame. When I was doing this earlier, I was walking and going and kind of bending down. So just remember, you want to make sure you're not going to trip on anything when you're using it. You also don't want this near your hair or your face or having it where the heat's going to come back and get you that way.